Man was at my wedding because Susie knew him before I knew him. So he was sitting there in an electric blue tuxedo when Susie and I walked down the aisle. He was at my baby naming. He spoke at my daughter Taylor's baby naming.
Oh, she's so beautiful.
I love this man. I've worked with this man I don't know how many years now, and I always like to think that I'm his most favorite person in the room. But when the Vince Lombardi trophy is sitting between the two of us, I think I lose. I think I lose out. Hey. Michael Irvin, right? I think I lose out to this baby, right?
And Rick, it's so funny you start with this because I'm gonna tell you something, man.
Yes.
When I was playing, I made a pact that I would never go to a Super Bowl until I play in the Super Bowl.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Like okay, and you guys show it, and I love how you and Dan, start off each other's show at the beginning of the week, and then I look on the board as I'm signing the boards. I see you had Rodney Harrison.
Yes, he
was. Which is great. He put Rodney Harrison, 03, 04 Super Bowl champs. Of course, I signed right after Rodney. I put Michael Irvin, 27, 28, and 30 champ. So every guest that comes here, they're going to get Super Bowl questions. That's why I always say I would never go to a Super Bowl until after I play in a Super Bowl, so I would not have people like Rich Eisen asking me questions that I cannot answer. Now, what do you want to ask, Rich? Because I'm prepared to answer since I won 3 of these things.
So what was it like picking this trophy up for the first time?
It was the greatest thing, and it really was, Rich. It really was.
Do you remember the circumstances?
Oh, my God, man. First of all, you got to go back and think about, we were 1-15. We were 3-13, 1-15. When you're 3-13 and 1-15 Cleveland Browns, I know you don't think there's any chance that you will ever lay a hold of something like this. So to go from those days to coming in 92 and winning that Super Bowl and actually somebody handing you that trophy, the most incredible thing, most incredible feeling in the world. And I remember, I promise you, I thought about it then. I said, I got one. Now, every year, they will replay, because that's what they do every year during the Super Bowl time. They replay the Super Bowls. I'm in that mix. That's all I wanted to do was get in that mix.
So do you think that's what keeps Brady coming back? Is that he wants to keep on pushing the limits of what quarterbacks can do in this game?
You know what keeps Brady coming back? Is that little kid, the little Tom Brady that everybody picked on, that everybody said will never do it, that everybody obviously put some reptilian genes in his brain that made him such a fighter. He is such a great fighter. I love it. He just wants to be the greatest ever. And I mean knock it out of the park and kill all discussions about who's the greatest ever. We moved it now. It used to be he's the greatest quarterback ever. Yeah. Everybody, yes, that. Now we moved it to, is he the greatest football player ever? And everybody's yes and that. Soon, he's going to be rivaling Jordan for the greatest athlete, period, ever. And he's mounting towards that.
Jordan, right?
Michael Jordan. Michael Jordan.
Yeah, I mean, we've already mentioned LeBron, a Federer reference. Roger Federer just won his 20th Grand Slam over the weekend. I mean, Brady is definitely, he's already in that category.
And all of them are great, but what separates this and makes, in each of those, basketball, you have 5 guys on the floor at one time. LeBron basically moves the balance of power by himself. Whenever he goes to another, that team's going to the Eastern Conference Final. That's just what LeBron is. He's one guy that can do that. Brady has to move around so many more guys. It's just incredible. That's why what he's doing, man, is just phenomenal. And I say this earlier, we are all blessed. We're all blessed. And when God takes us from time to eternity, we should go up and shake his hand and say, thank you for allowing me to live in the Belichick-Brady era and see that greatness on a football field, because that's what it is.
Well, unless you're trying to get to the AFC Championship yourself. I mean, there's a lot of to use your analogies. There are a hell of a lot of Ewings and Karl Malones, and and there's some people that are hoping to be the Hakeem Olajuwons once Brady actually might step away at some point.
Right. And
there's a lot of people that are littered on the side right here.
That's the carnage that Brady has left beside him, just left back there.
Now,
He's incredible.
You made an interesting comment, Michael Irvin here on the Rich Eisen show. On our game day morning a couple weeks ago, I want to delve into here because you nailed it right on the head when we were talking about Brady and Belichick maybe having a tug of war here.
Yeah.
And you're like, this needs to be nipped in the bud because you once saw a dynasty have a tug of war that you thought never would lead to a breakup.
Never. You know, and when I heard it, as they were talking back in the day about Jerry and Jimmy, I was like, oh, we're good. There's no way. We're coming off back-to-back Super Bowls. Like, they may very well be coming off back-to-back Super Bowls. And I said, no way. Nobody takes a perfectly running car and take it to the shop. We don't need the shop right now. We're running perfectly, and that's exactly what happened. And that worries me because you start talking about these are two highly successful, you know, highly motivated, very directed, and very, I believe I know the way to get it done type guys.
Yep.
And that's always a possibility when you have those type men working together. But they're two incredible people. I certainly hope nothing happens and they stay together because, like I said, we're blessed to be in this time that they are in.
Well, the difference is that these two guys are under contract to an owner that wants to keep them together as opposed to an owner wanting to prove that I can do it myself. Did you ever step in when you heard that Jimmy and Jerry were not doing well, or your station wasn't that in life at that point in time?
I just didn't think anything would happen, Rich. I really didn't. I was like, well, are you joking? You know how hard it is to win Super Bowls, and you have a formula that's working, and who would touch that formula? So I really never thought that there was a need to, because I didn't think anything would happen. And then when it happened, he's like, oh, my God. Like, you know, I should have done this. Maybe I should have talked to him. I should have tried this. I should have tried that. You know, so I hope, and that's the good thing you mentioned. If I'm Robert Kraft, I'm like, man, I love both of you. And I'll tell you, Jerry Jones, I'm telling you, that's the one thing. I'll never forget Jerry Jones telling me that when I was negotiating with him. And I was saying, you know, I'll go to Cincinnati. And I'm just talking, trying to get my monies up. I said, I'll go to Cincinnati. You can get Carl Pickens over here, and let's see what happens. And Jerry said to me then, Jerry said, Michael, you know, when I see you, I see Michael Irvin and the Dallas Cowboys. He said, I kind of see it like Magic Johnson and the Lakers. He said, what is Magic without the Lakers? And what are the Lakers without the Magic? He said, you guys, they belong together, just like you and the Cowboys. He said, Michael, the best way I can tell you, if a bomb hit Valley Ranch today, that's where we practice, and blew everything up, everybody, everything, when the smoke clears, baby, me and you, we gonna still be here. So we might as well work this deal out right now. So,
that's what he said to you?
I promise you. I said, this dude is a fool. This dude is a fool. He had me laughing as he was telling me no about my money.
That's why you're in the Hall of Fame together. All right, Michael Irvin is here. Let's take a break. We'll chat the X's and O's of this game and what he thinks is going to happen. And so people are giving you grief that they think you've chosen the Eagles on Twitter?
Well, I said that I'd rather have the Eagles win one than instead of the Patriots win one more than us.
Okay.
And, they've been going crazy about that.
Okay. They being New England Twitter.
No. All of the Cowboys fans.
Oh, gosh.
Cowboys Twitter.
He wants a rival to win a Super Bowl.
They're like, Michael, can you see that? You know they clapped when you were down paralyzed. I said, that was, but all right. But I'd rather still have them win one instead of the Patriots win one more than us. And they would have won 3 or 4 years twice. That just kind of kicks us right off the curb.
I see. So you're rooting. Okay, we'll get into this.
Is crazy.
But I think I understand that you're rooting for a rival to protect the Cowboys.
Right.
Understood.
And I tell the people, don't let temporary pain override a permanent thing here. Temporary pain shouldn't override a permanent thing.
They don't understand. You're the seer.
The seer. I'm trying to see this thing for the baby Dallas Cowboy fans that are coming in, and they should have the right to boast with the most trophies.
Michael Irvin. Another segment with him when we come back here on the Rich Eisen Show.
I'm just saying.
All right, welcome back here to our studio. So again, you were referring to this, and we might as well, since we're on TV only here. This is, we every year, as a tradition, a poster board of our show logo for the Super Bowl.
That's right.
And we have all the guests sign it. And here's a logo. Do you notice? By the way, do you notice that I'm wearing skates in the logo?
Skates in the logo.
They put skates on me.
I think that's my favorite part.
That is cool. Yeah. Too. I didn't catch that. Out here.
Yeah, and you know, since we're good friends, my running style, as you know, this is not particularly indicative. I did have them move this leg in 3.5 years ago. So here you are. All right. So this is what you signed. Here's Rodney Harrison with him.
304 champ.
Yeah, and then this is you.
Yes. Super Bowl 27,
Oh, you went
28,
Roman
30.
numeral. You went
Champs.
Roman numeral.
Right. And then I dropped that little, what they call that little sugar on top of that thing right there called a HOF.
Oh.
Right, just right there, little sugar on top. Now, imagine everybody else that comes, Rich, they'll have to sign that board.
Nobody's got the 3 with the HOF that's going to come here.
Right. So,
is Bradshaw coming?
I don't know.
Who was I was somewhere, and I was talking about my 3 rings, and he said, I got 4. I was like, It's not often that I'm in a place where somebody has more rings.
All right, if you're on hold, stay. If you're on hold, stay on hold, please, because we're going to take your calls in hour number 3 when Patrick Peterson joins us. To finish up hour number 2, Michael Irvin still hanging out here to my left. Okay, why do you – now, I know you said you wanted the Eagles to win because it would preserve the 3 out of the 4 for the Cowboys being the only one to do that. Well, the Patriots have done it once, right? Patriots have done it once.
So, okay,
right,
so
I see what you're saying.
When I walked away, I was like, okay, 3 and 4 years – We're good. That shouldn't happen again because it was coming up on free agency. And then the Patriots goes and do it. I said, oh, my God. They tapped that pretty quickly, right? And now they have a chance to do it again. I got many reasons that I rather the Eagles get this one.
All right. So now give me the scenario in which you are proven correct as the seer and that the Eagles pull this off.
Well, there's one. Okay, you can't beat Tom Brady with one element. You can't beat him, Jacksonville, with a great defense. And you can't beat Tom Brady with just a great offense. You need both elements hitting on all cylinders. And the Eagles, who I was worried about going into the championship game, Nick Foles hit that cylinder mark. Now, the thing I'm worried about is the defense have been playing so great. And I know quietly the defense has talked amongst themselves like, hey, man, that's not Carson Wentz. That's Nick Foles. They won't say this to Nick. They'll just talk, we got to keep this thing under 10 points. We got to keep this thing under 14 points, and they have been doing that. But now, since Nick Foles put up all them points, I hope that doesn't diminish their need to keep the New England Patriots down to 14 points. Because if they can keep them down, and of course Nick can play anywhere like he played last week, they got his chance at winning this game.
I think they do. But I think they can. Don't you think they could score on the Patriots here? They should be able to score on this defense, don't you think? And for New England?
Well, that's what. And see, that's what we say now. That's what we said, and we said it early on when we watched this defense. This defense was horrible. I remember Marshall, whom I miss very much, saying, if Bill Belichick got this defense into a Super Bowl, it would be his greatest coaching job ever. His greatest coaching job yet. Because when we saw this defense at first.
Historically bad.
It was
historically bad.
Historically bad. And he did exactly that. He did exactly that. He got this defense into a Super Bowl. He got this team into a Super Bowl.
How did he fix the defense? How?
I think it's just based on what everyone that we're hearing from Willie, you heard from Rodney in hour 1, is it's just they have a system. They have a system in place that you hear do your job all the time, right? Yeah. And it was interesting in the national championship game when Georgia was beating Alabama and Nick Saban said, I guess going halftime, we just got to go out and tell these kids you got to do your job. And I'm like, oh, I heard, there it is.
Yeah.
Okay. It's so simple, but yes, they have a system in place. And if they call a defense, do not freelance. And I'm sure it took Gilmore some time to realize that you don't freelance here.
There's the kicker right there. Is when they say do your job, it's not just a physical thing. It's actually a mental thing. Don't just do your job shoulders down. Do them shoulders up also. Be in the right place, and the defense will take care of itself. That's him saying, stop trusting all of your physical gifts. Trust what we're putting together. Trust the system. Trust the places that we will have you in, because we know better than you what they're about to call. So we're putting you where you need to be and giving you the best opportunity to make plays. And he's just incredible at it, man. The adjustments he makes at halftime is incredible.
How tough is it to buy into that as a player when you just step in there, despite the number of rings and trophies in the case?
Right.
Now, how tough is it, though?
Right. And you speak of Gilmore. So you got players like that coming in saying, hey, I've gotten to this place doing things my way. Doing things my way. Yeah, you've gotten to this place, so you got a big contract, you've been playing well. But now you're trying to get to a place where you want to win championships. Your way hadn't produced that. His way has. So you could buy into this. And I think it's easier to get guys to buy into it when his ways have produced Super Bowls like he has produced.
It sounds like, to use the pop culture analogy from Pulp Fiction, that's just pride messing with your mind. When Marcellus tells Bruce Willis that you were going to throw the fight. And if you think about it, that's just pride, messing with your mind.
That's a great quote, too. That's a great quote.
That's what it is.
And that's exactly what it is when you get guys that come over and try to think, well, I can do this. That's just pride. It's just pride messing with your mind. Tell that pride, be ye gone, and get back on the Belichick train.
And then, of course, having the wherewithal to sign the players who do have the physical abilities, because Gilmore made the play that prevented another Tyree Manningham moment to prevent New England from getting here. He made that play to knock that throw from Bortles to Westbrook away to seal that game.
Which is
a hell of a play. And he said that he was also recalling the technique to use, I guess, in his way, his offhand, his front hand, the technique that Patricia and Belichick have been pounding into his head all year long.
As opposed to that backhand?
Yeah, that's what he said. That go ahead and go snatch it. Would just knock it down. That's what he said. That's what he said after the game.
And it's good. It's good technique because, first of all, if you don't get caught, you can kind of keep that jersey down right here. You know what I mean? If you don't get caught, you kind of get away with that.
Irv, thanks for helping kick off the my show here this week. And I look forward to seeing you on Sunday. We're going to spend an absurd amount of time together on Sunday.
Yeah, we will, man. We always have a great time, Richard. When I did DP show this morning, I told DP, the one mistake I made, I said, I sit next to Rich every day in meetings.
Oh, this is good.
We sit right next to each other. I said, I wore one of your hats because I was trying to come through the airport and hide. And I wore the hat and I forgot I had it on. I walked in the meetings and Rich was staring at me like, you are not sitting next to me with this hat on.
Well, actually, what I did in the 30 seconds left is I waited till a moment where Irv was talking about standing up for your teammates during the meeting, which invariably he will do. And I'm like, you mean like wearing a Dan Patrick Show hat next to the host of the Rich Eisen Show? Like that?
And Rich is like right here. I'm like, take that off.
The Rich Eisen Show, weekdays at noon Eastern on Audience.